So pretty much that content for you.
Okay, so how's it going, everybody? Geyer. I'm joined by Kaiser, who doesn't know much about Geyer. He knows that she comes from the spoiler zone after you've completed Angels of the Zeraman.
Ah, fuck Quest.
Say hi to everybody, Kaiser.
Fuck you.
Got you're
Just flip it.
okay.
Just flip
Anyway,
it. People don't
so
care. Oh,
the
I'm making it work. Don't worry about it.
so this is the build for Gaia that I've thrown together. Archon Stretch gives us basically infinite energy, and you want Stretch. Primed Redirection is just for safety. This can be like basically any safe mod. You could go Rolling Guard, you could do Catalyzing Shields and try to Shield Gate. You have a few options. Catalyzing Shields with Brief Respite. Because we run Blind Rage, your abilities actually cost so much that this will instantly recharge most of your shields. Since you only have 130, you really only get to spam your two. The one is the ability I would subsume. If I had subsumed an ability, I don't, because I think she does fine.
In English. I need English. What the fuck are you saying?
So when you subsume an ability is when you go into the Helmeth and you replace an ability with one of the ones that are an option in the Helmeth system. That's what I mean when I say
Oh,
subsume.
when you sacrifice one of your
Right,
things.
when you
Got it.
sacrifice an ability, you tend to do it with Arc Sphere, because Arc Sphere just isn't as useful as Coil Horizon. So, starting with her passive, her abilities have 10% chance to deal critical damage for each electrical status afflicting the enemy. That means that if your enemy has 300, or 30 electric procs, which is very easy to get, they will be red crit every time. And you'll see that actually happen in this. Her one Arc Sphere, she throws this ball, the ball shocks everything around it. Not too much going on for it. It does do more damage the more enemies are in the initial cast. It lasts a little bit of time. You could throw, I do believe, 2 out at a time. It's not the greatest ability. It's not terrible, so you can keep it if you like it, or you can get rid of it for anything in the Helmeth. Pillage is what I would recommend personally, because it'll refresh your shield gate and strip armor. Next up, Coil Horizon. This is a really, really strong ability. It basically, you throw a sphere, and then when you activate the sphere, it clumps enemies together, which is very, very, very powerful. You can manually re-trigger that, otherwise it will go off after a duration.
So
And
like copyrighted, like insert copyright with P.
basically, yeah. This does have a 30-meter range with this build, which is very, very nice. Next up, we have Cathode's Grace. Cathode's Grace gives you crit chance and energy regen. Every kill extends Cathode Grace. If Cathode's Grace ends, it goes on a minute-long cooldown. So quite an impactful cooldown, but it's very easy to actually keep this going. The crit chance does apply to her abilities as well. Part of the reason you're going to see red crits here coming up. And then finally, we have Rotoswell. She basically fires off these electrical doodads, mechanisms, whatever you want to call them, around her. And anything in that field will just be
Magnets.
hit with a thunderbolt. Anytime it crits, it will chain and hit more people. So, Cathode's Grace. This makes it so that every time an enemy is killed, they discharge Rotoswell's damage so long as they're in Rotoswell. Otherwise, Blind Rage, Primed Redirection, Continuity, Primed Flow, Overextended. I have Augur Secrets here just because I wanted a little bit more strength. This could be Augur Reach if you wanted. Or you can put another Forma in this and upgrade this to Umbral Intensify. That would require an Umbra Forma. And it would actually require even another Forma because you'd have to Forma for Overextended. Or you can Forma just a V polarity and you can easily slot in regular Intensify. I like having the Augur options just because sometimes I want to throw in like Augur Reach, get a little bit more range. That and with Augur and Brief Respite with Blind Rage, if you decide to drop Primed Redirection for catalyzing shields, you will for sure get your shield gate back. 4 extra defense, we have Arcane Aegis, and then Molt Augmented is just pretty standard whenever you're using Overextended, since Overextended takes away 60 strength, and Molt Augmented gives you 60% strength whenever you have it fully stacked up. Basically, you can pop Overextended off, and you can see that you're getting to 223 strength, and you can see your actual values. There are better optimizations for this that you could absolutely do, but for a general use Skyer build that you're not trying to hit level cap, you're not trying to do like stupid mega whatever, this build will...
Mid-vex.
Huh?
Don't worry about it.
And then I typically don't like to show the Archon shards off when I'm making builds just because not everybody has access to these. I think that Gyre does really well with just 1 energy max, because that gives you enough energy to actually cast your 3 when you need it. Because that's one of the drawbacks with Blind Rage, is you don't actually have the energy you necessarily need to cast your abilities up front. My Cathod's Grace is going to fall there, so we're going to have to wait 45 seconds. It does tick down the cooldown right when you cast it, so if you can manage to extend it for more than a minute, you'll be able to recast it right away. But this is how she looks. Her dash is very weird. She becomes a ball of energy. 1, as you can see, nice range, and then this is the 2. You're not going to really be able to appreciate that because there's no enemies, but that's what the 2 looks like. You had a question, Kaiser?
Yeah, does that charge electrify something? Or
Yes,
just
everything in this
movement?
everything in the circle here is hit with electricity. And the more enemies that are in this when you initially cast it, the more damage it does. Which I will show off right now. Because we'll just go on ahead and throw in our Orican, the Orican battle group. I will say Gyre is best in the Whispers in the Wall content, because all of those enemies, the Murmur, are weak to electric. So as you can see here, just the one that's starting to stack up. As you can see, the more stacks they get on them, the more they just start taking damage, the more they're CC'd. We can go on ahead and throw our 2 and shoot them all up. And now what we actually want to do is this. And now all these guys are going to die. It might take them a little bit because we don't have an armor shred. But the longer I stay here, as you can see, they're getting orange crit now because they're at 16 stacks. They're getting even more. I can throw this out more. If I had an electric weapon.
Yeah, you can go make a sandwich, refill your coat.
Yep, and as these guys die
water.
to my ability, just being in my Rotoswell, they're starting to discharge and hit each other. You kind of need this like damage ramp up that she does, but pairing her with literally any armor strip, even if you did like Nairu armor strip, right? So let's go over here. Hopefully I can do this before all my abilities fall off. Let's just do it against unarmored enemies. So these guys don't have armor. The ancient healers eat CC because they kind of protect everybody. But now, yeah, see, armorless enemies do not like this. And also, one of the nice things with your Horizon Coil is that we get some armored enemies here. We can Horizon Coil them in, switch to our operator, throw that, and now they have no armor. And now, as you can see, they are all just getting melted. So yeah, pairing this
back to my point. Do nothing, win game.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's nothing. I had to push buttons.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Let's make a sandwich. Or 2, 3, 4, and go pay taxes.
And as you can see, these are the enemies from the Andrade lab, and even with their armor, they're just getting fucking destroyed. The only one who kind of survived it is the Hollow Vein, but these things are kind of notorious for being the most bullshit enemy in the entire game.
Also, don't you just stun lock them forever? So it doesn't matter what?
Not necessarily forever.
Can you have enemies that attack you?
Yeah, these enemies are active right now. See, they're attacking me.
Yeah. when I see the attacks coming, or when I see them do any damage.
Yeah, these enemies are attacking.
Yeah.
They are. See, he's flying away.
Yeah, attacking or escaping for the lives. Yeah,
Uh,
same thing.
I think that would qualify as escaping. I think that would qualify as running for their lives. But yeah, thankfully you don't really... Thanks to Archon Stretch, you really don't have to worry too much about your energy. As long as you aren't sitting there trying to rely only on your abilities for damage, you're going to regen back up. And the longer you can keep Rotoswell up, and the longer you can keep Cathode Grace up, the more you can kind of just, like, not actually care about the enemies. Because you'll get that nice crit chance. Don't use the Latum, because the Latum obviously has its I don't want to crit build, or it's like crit min-max build, and basically whenever you use Gyre, you're pretty much guaranteed to crit. But if you do a nice crit-based weapon, like the AX52 here, as you can see, we just, this isn't even like the proper damage from them, because I have Viral on here, but it doesn't matter. They don't... The residents of the Andrade lab do not enjoy Gyre whatsoever. And that is because if we look at them, they are... we can see they are weak to electric and radiation. Turns out, when you're an electric-based Warframe and you're against something that, is weak to electricity, you don't actually have to give a fuck about them. They're all dead.
You never do. Yeah. You can stand up right now and nothing will hit.
Yeah, they're dead. He's dead. I think the Hollow Vein survived again. Of course he did. But yeah, as you can see, he just got electrocuted. Oh no, I have to actually, like... Oh look, he's getting stun locked, by the way.
Sorry, you were saying about the stun lock not happening? You actually had to play the game? Sorry?
I didn't say I actually had to play the game there. I have enough range that I can kind of just pull these guys in from wherever. See, now they're all grouped up. And just this kind of shows off how easy it is to keep your cathodes, your what's the name of this ability? Cathode Grace up, just with even just a little bit of duration, because as you can see, I still have like a minute on the duration of it and Rotoswell, and that's like more than enough time to run over, spawn more enemies, come back here. I'm getting 3 seconds back on a kill. So we got from 50 seconds to, well, we went to 49. So 49 to 51. Get a couple seconds back. And yeah, this is how Gyre works.
Yeah, get Pablo.
Get Pablo'd indeed. I will say that this is a little fraudulent of a test, because these guys don't have Overguard on anybody here. Obviously, enemies with Overguard, you can't just like throw the the Coil Horizon at them and group them up, or CC them with
Yeah, you have to
procs.
shoot them. You have to shoot them first. Ask questions later.
Oh, and there's the Hollow Vein killing me, as you do. The Hollow Vein got me, as it normally does.
Is it that strong?
Hollow Vein is easily one of the strongest enemies in this entire game. There we go. Yeah, that's how Gyre works. That would be Gyre. Is there another frame you want to see? I'll give you one more. We'll do a 2-for-1 special.
2-for-1 special?
Yeah. Is there another frame you want to look at?
Rhino. Max
Rhino.
Rhino.
You want to see Max Rhino? Okay. So, a few things with Max Rhino here. My Rhino build's a little bit different than some of the parasitic armor rhinos you might see. So this one right here is parasitic armor rhino. You just try to get as much strength as possible, so that way when you use ironclad charge, you get rid of your armor with parasitic armor. You charge in with rhino charge, and then you get a huge amount of iron skin. Just gonna show that off real quick. This isn't normally how I like to play rhino, but here we are. We're gonna show it. So you parasitic armor, which gets rid of all of your shields. You charge through a bunch of enemies. You press iron skin, and then you get, you know, 238,080 overguard, right? Pretty typical stuff. And then you can do what you would like with that. We're gonna clear, kill, simulate. How I like to use Rhino though is a little different, because I use this build. So this build has Energy Nexus with Nourish, which is available from the Helmet system. Nourish gives you energy regen increase. This makes it so that all of your energy multipliers are multiplied by 2.5. With this build, you get a little bit more after your Molt Augmented is stacked up. But, you know, you get in the ballpark about 2.75, I do believe it is. We can actually just do the thing where we take off overextended. And we can see. So without overextended, we can see, yeah, 2.84 energy regen, so about 2.5. Energy Nexus will turn that, this will turn Energy Nexus's 3 energy per second into, what would it be, 7? 8? Roughly? Yeah, 2.8 multiplier, 3, up to, you know.
3.9 actually.
Yeah.
No, it's 8.9, yeah. Actually,
like 9. So, I run Talforged Armor, Talforged Armor, Talforged Armor, Talforged Strength, and 1 energy maximum on spawn. Because that means that I can actually cast my Iron Skin and Nourish at the mission start. And then I use Arcane Battery. That's why I have the 3 armor shards. Because your Iron Skin value scales with your armor. And 3 armor shards translates into maximum energy whenever Arcane Battery is up. That's why my maximum is actually 618. If I get out of here, we can see that my maximum energy is 677 when it's all said and done. So, let's burn some energy here. We just use our stop, we use Nourish, and as you can see in the bottom right there, my energy is going up quite fast, right? Like, that's not an insignificant amount of regen. And all I gotta do is make sure my Nourish is up. Bonus with Nourish is it adds viral damage onto our weapons whenever we're attacking. So, what we do is we just kind of rely on the normal way that you get Iron Skin. You're not going to get, like, super memey amounts of Iron Skin with this build, unfortunately. Like, see, we get significantly less, but with Reinforcing Stomp, I'm back up. My Iron Skin took damage, I stomp, all of the enemies around me get CC'd, and I get my Iron Skin back up to what it was. You still get a nice 123 damage buff from Roar. And with the viral damage that this gives, admittedly I'm using the wrong weapon for this. I'm still working on this AX build. I am threatened. I knock them up. And bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah,
again, there's
can
no...
almost damage you.
Well, no. The only thing I have to do is make sure that my Nourish is up, and I'm, like, fine. We have plenty of duration for Roar. We've got plenty of energy regen. Anytime my Iron Skin looks like it's taking damage, I stomp. No. Why would I give them a chance?
You know, equality is a hot commodity right now.
Equality is a hot commodity. But yeah, that's how my Rhino build works. Thankfully, even if you forget to turn Nourish on, while you're, running between place to place. Energy Nexus will still just tick you up until the point where you can activate Nourish. You pop Nourish, and then, as you can see, the energy regen speaks for itself. Like, that's not a zero amount of energy regen. There's quite a bit of energy regen happening. But yeah, that's how my Rhino works. Is there another frame you would like to see? You gotta go, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right. That was explaining Warframes to a newbie. Later.
For now. Episode 1. Bye.
Episode 1.